So are you excited?
Yes.
1 to 10. So today's video, it didn't work out the way it was supposed to. I was going to do a collab video with a very special friend today. However, she had some things come up. Her babies ended up sick, so didn't get to do that. So say a prayer for them, if you don't mind, that they get on the mend quickly. But there's something that I've been wanting to share, and I wasn't exactly sure when or how I wanted to do that. And since the things didn't work out for today's video, we went out and ran some errands. We went and got the stuff to put some lights in our little porch up here for our bedroom, and then the railing that we're going to use for the entire porch. We went and got that. And on the way home, I was thinking, you know what? Today would be a good time to share the news that you've been wanting to share. I wanted to have it in a separate individual video. That way, if I want to look back on it, or the thought of Jonathan or any of, well, Lily, it's fine. Just for some reason, my grown child watching, or family, which I know watches, it's been confirmed. Family watching, anybody like that, it makes me cringe. The thought of people watching me that know me, that might really judge me more than strangers do, because isn't that great? They don't know what family does. Anyways, I didn't like the thought of that. However, I am a very look into the future kind of person, and one day these kind of videos, whether they're here on YouTube or I get them off and put them into something else to save, which is something that I actually want to do, all of the more important ones. My neighbor's outside. I hear you, Roger. But all of the more important ones I do want to get off and put into a drive or something, like the story, which I think I have it on private now, but the story of John and I meeting and whatnot. I want to get all of those off, and the kids' birthday videos, and put them onto a hard drive. That way that we always have those. And this was no different. I wanted this video in case something happens to me, and I know it's very morbid, but nobody knows what tomorrow holds, or 5 years from now holds. You know, nobody knows, and age doesn't mean nothing. So just because I'm 34 don't mean that I've got 40 more years on this earth. And I just like the thought of being able to have these moments to share with my family later on, whether it's with me present, which I don't think I would enjoy because I absolutely hate watching videos of myself, or if it's just something for them to look back on once I'm gone. So I knew I wanted this to be something completely separate from anything like a weekend vlog or something. And I thought about putting it into a weekend vlog, but then I didn't like the idea of having to skim through to find the important parts. So I figured we would share it on its own. I wasn't sure at what point in the journey that I would share it, but I figured, you know what, today's video didn't work out, and typically that's fine. It is what it is. I don't really mind missing a video here and there, but it just felt like the perfect opportunity. I have been busting at the seams to tell you guys. There's been many times when I have said little pieces or little parts that would give it away, and I've cut them out because I'm like, no, that doesn't go yet. So I decided that we're going to do this. I'm just going to do one straight shoot and not edit it at all. Can you believe that? I'm going to add a little bit of something at the end, but I'm not going to edit it. This is going to be the first fully run through, unless my child comes up here and I have to cut it, the videos. That way I get it out soon and quickly. I'm kind of taking a page out of Tiffany from Our Small Town Life's book. She does, I think it's every Friday, she posts little back porch chats and whatnot. And I love those. It's like just hanging out with a friend. So that's what we're doing. We're sitting on my unfinished porch on the floor because I've not bought furniture yet because I don't want it in the way. But anyways, I wanted to share some news with you guys. The neighbor's outside, and I feel like I echo right to him. He already knows, though. But I did want to share some very exciting news that a few of you do know. I'm very selective. No hard feelings to anybody. I'm very selective about who I let into my full life, like on my my personal, that's the word I'm looking for, onto my personal Facebook page. And a few of you are on there, and it's been shared on there, so I might as well just go ahead and share what it is so I can stop talking in code, because I hate talking in code. So as of, how do I word this, because it's always there, as of April of 2024, probably before then, is my guess, a little bit before then, I will officially be a grandma. That's not using that word, because that's an old woman word. It's not, but it is. You know, you just typically picture like older women when it comes to being called grandma. Well, I do, and it doesn't feel like what I am. So we are going with me and Kim and my niece kind of together, but not really. Me and Kim talked about it, and then her and my niece, which is Jonathan's best friend, he grew up with her, and she kind of just, like, her and Jonathan and Kim are like a little trio. And then anyways, there's more of them, but we decided that I was going to go by Mimi, and it sounds very, very weird still. Like, I become a mom at 14, and it just always stuck. Like, mom always stuck, and I guess it's different because you're the one carrying the child kind of thing. But mom was never weird. However, Mimi is just Mimi, Gigi, all of that, because I've tried different ones because I thought maybe it was just the Mimi thing. Yeah, just none of them seems right, and I think that's just because I picture it as being a older person, but that's just one of the results, I guess, symptoms of having a child at 14 is becoming a grandma at 34. So yes, I found out at the end of July. Kim called me. They work at a hotel, both of them do, and the owners of the hotel went out of town for a week, like from Monday to Saturday or something like that. They went out of town, and Jonathan and Kim got left in charge of the hotel, so they stayed up there the entire week and didn't, so we didn't see them all that week. It's typical. We don't typically go a week without seeing them. And she called me one day, it wasn't evening, it was as soon as she got home from the doctor confirmation appointment, and told me that they was in fact having a baby, that she was pregnant. And I was over the moon excited. Like, I always knew that I would be excited. We've been having chats the last couple of months of future babies and future life plans and whatnot, and so I knew, Lord willing, I knew it was coming soon, and I knew I would cry. Like, it was no question to me that I would cry. However, the amount that I cried was almost embarrassing. When I was talking to Kim on the phone, because she could have come over like 2 days later, because they would have got off then. Not off, they didn't work the whole time, but you know what I'm saying. They would have had the opportunity to come over 2 days prior to when she told me. I think it's 2 days, but she couldn't wait. So she called me and told me, and when she told me, I tried my best not to cry, because I didn't want her to misinterpret the tears and think that I wasn't happy. We had already had many conversations about, you know, that I was the designated babysitter and all of that, and I was all for it, like 100% supportive of all of that. But I didn't want her to misinterpret the tears to think that I wasn't happy, because that could not be farther from the truth. So I kind of held it back, but as soon as I got off the phone with her, I sobbed. Like, sobbed is pretty much the only description that I could use, and almost to an embarrassing level. I was so excited I could not sit down. The kids was out jumping on the trampoline, and Kim told me after, you know, when we was talking on the phone, that she told me to tell John and tell the kids. And I didn't want to tell the kids until I'd told John. So I was just sitting on this big burst of happiness and excitement, and I couldn't share it with nobody because John wasn't home and I didn't want to call him and tell him at work. And so I was pacing. Like, I couldn't sit still. I was crying. Whenever I got to where the kids could see me, because I was pacing the porch, I would make sure that they couldn't tell that I was crying from where they was at. And they noticed that I was acting like a crazy person. Because I heard Lily, she was talking to him, and she's like, what is Mom doing? Why is she walking around? And I couldn't sit still. I was just overwhelmed. So excited. I said I wasn't going to edit this one. But I was so excited, and I still am. I think I worry more about her and the baby than I ever did myself when I was pregnant. And I think that's because, maybe because when I was pregnant, it was me, so I knew how I was feeling, and I knew, you know, what was going on. But with it being her, it's not my body. And so I do worry more about her than I think I ever did about myself. And I mean, there's no reason to worry. She's doing great. She's been having some issues with some morning sickness and whatnot, and I never dealt with that. But I know it's super common that people do. Every once in a while, I would get a headache, and I would get just a tiny bit nauseous, but I never was like super sick. I never once threw up from being pregnant. Like, I got the stomach virus and the flu while I was pregnant, but not just because I was pregnant did I ever get sick. So that's new. But she's doing great. There's no reason to worry, but there's, you know how it is. There's always things to worry about. So I wasn't sure when I was going to share it with you guys. You all know that I wear emotions big. I don't know. I got two things confused. But I am big with emotions, whether it's good, bad, or ugly, or in between. I'm a very emotional person. And I didn't want to have to retract good information with bad information, because y'all know how I am. And even when we first found out, she told me on a Thursday. That next day, I went out and started baby shopping. And the first few days of doing that, I had this little whisper in my head that was saying, what if something happens and you're already buying stuff? Or what if, you know, this is a waste? And those things, those feelings and voices was quickly shut down by the phrase of, I'm doing it in faith. I'm shopping in faith that everything's going to be okay with this baby. And if it's not, I'm shopping in faith that the Lord is good and there will be more down the road. But I'm shopping in faith that this baby, that everything's okay with this baby. And so that's how I'm sharing. I'm sharing in faith that everything goes wonderful with this baby. And come April, they will be parents for the first time. And I will have a grandbaby. Yeah. See, I feel everything very greatly. And it can be a burden. And confusing for people if they don't know my heart. But we are all very excited. John hasn't really said much, but if you know John, that's typical. Not long after we found out, though, just randomly threw out, you know, it wouldn't even be nothing to do with grandparents or whatever. Or maybe it was. Maybe we seen a little old lady with her grandkid, or what we assumed was her grandkid. Anyways, John will often speak about, I mean, he never did before, but now he will sometimes speak about what the right thing for grandparents to do is, and what grandparents are supposed to do for their children and grandkids and stuff. So he's not very vocal with things, but I think he has been thinking about things and such. I'm over the moon, in case you couldn't tell. Like, I have always dreamed of having grandkids, just like I always dreamed of having kids when I was little. I remember me and my sister-in-law we would be going places together because we was always together. And our kids was in the back seat in car seats. So, you know, they was little. And us talking about what our plans and dreams was as grandmas when we got older. So, it's always been a dream of mine. That is, I guess, a perk now of having Jonathan so young at 14. I wouldn't go that extreme, but having him so young, because it is what it is I get to fully embrace being a grandparent at a fairly young age. And so I'm very, very excited. And I know this is just the start of a very long and very expensive journey for us, because we've got, you know, we've got Jonathan, and then we've got the other 3 that are still far from the baby stage. So I'm very excited. Like, my mind is all over the place. I completely forgot where I was at. But I'm excited about this new chapter of my life. I'm excited about being able to watch Jonathan and Kim become parents. I know that they will be amazing, because they just are. They're amazing people. Jonathan has always been great with his siblings, and he still is. And we're all excited. I said I wasn't going to cut anything, so I'm trying not to cut anything, but I so badly want to cut out these empty spaces where I'm trying to hold this in. But we're over the moon. Even the kiddos, Lily especially, but Wendy is too. Wendy likes babies, but Lily has always been a baby person. And when we go out and look at all the baby stuff, which we obviously do, we even before we knew that we had a baby coming into our family, we would sometimes be browsing in the baby section. But now, having a reason to be doing it and being able to picture a little Jonathan and Kim baby in the baby clothes, it's very exciting. Like, we will be looking at stuff and Lily will just like squeal a little bit and say, I'm so excited. And it is so fun that we're all very much over the moon. When we went out to yard sales a couple of weeks ago, remember I said that I bought things I couldn't share. That was me buying stuff for baby. I'm obviously only getting to buy gender neutral stuff right now. I have bought a few girl things simply because they was good deals and they was cute. And we do have a baby girl in the family coming. So if this baby is, which I've actually bought stuff specifically for that other baby girl. But if Jonathan and Kim's baby is a boy, which is my guess, we'll see. I'm usually wrong, but if it ends up being a boy and I've got the girl stuff, I have another baby that I can give it to, so it's not that big of a deal. But when we was out looking at yard sales, John would find baby stuff, which I think is very weird, and not weird, very sweet and special, because John is not that kind of person. But if we was at a yard sale and I didn't see baby stuff, he would call me over to look through it. And so we have been buying like gender neutral stuff and whatnot. And when we was out, I found a little long sleeve onesie that said something about my uncle is cooler than yours or something. And Nolan thought it was cute. So of course we bought it. It was actually for a boy, but if it ends up being a girl, I told him we could use it, at least, you know, put on, which I think boy stuff typically you can use on girls versus girl stuff you use on boys. I mean, that's your just my personal preference. And if, you know, obviously it's not my baby, just whatever they want to put on their baby, they can. But I figured even if it's a girl, we can put on the onesie and take some pictures with Nolan, and he would like enjoy that, because he liked the little onesie that we picked up. I forgot what I was saying. But anyways, yeah, we're over the moon. I have been talking for 19 minutes. I should have made notes to try to keep it down. I went with them to their first appointment. Kim asked me to from day one, the day that she called me and told me that that she was pregnant. She told me that she wanted me to go with her to her appointments, at least the first one, and, you know, some of them in between. And so that day she told me she wanted me to go with her. The day that the appointments got scheduled, she made sure that I was text the times and dates and where it was at, and to make sure that, you know, I wanted her to go with me. And we talked a few times in between then, and then the night before her appointment, I did text, and I was like, does she want me to go? Make sure she doesn't feel like I have to be there, because I don't want to overstep any boundaries. I don't want them to think that I feel like I deserve anything that I don't, because I don't want to be that person that oversteps or that feels I have rights to something when I don't. I know whose baby it is, and it's not mine. It's mine as much as they allow it to be, and I hope that's a lot, but I hope that they always know that I know my place, so to speak. So, Lolly? I thought Lily had walked out on the porch. The camera went off anyway. But yeah, I went with them to the first appointment. I ended up going back with her to the ultrasound. I think I went back to it went back with her on all of it except for the blood work. I went back with her, and I'm very thankful for the relationship that her and I have. Like I always said, that no matter what, I would love the people that my kids chose to love, because my kids love them. But Kim has made it easy. I've loved her like my own from the very beginning. She makes it very easy. And there's been many times when like she has thought of me more than Jonathan has, like more than my own child has. But I'm very thankful for her. She is perfect for our family, and I am very excited for her to be part of our family and to be allowed to do as much of this as they want me to with them. Like I said, I made sure that they knew that I'm not pressuring them. Whatever they want is, it's up to them. However, I'm here 100% as much as they want or need me to. And he said, I was talking to Jonathan, and he said that he knew that. They knew that I wasn't trying to overstep or just do things just so I could say I was doing them, which some people do, which we're not going to get into that. But they said that they knew. He said that I was arguably as excited as they are. They want me to be part of the process. They trust me. They know that I've had 4 kids, and I guess they know that I've done a pretty okay job. Even though sometimes, especially last year, I questioned that like a lot. Which has kind of, since Jonathan moved out, I've had many whispers from God telling me that maybe I didn't do such a bad job, and maybe I did things right. So, we're excited, in case you couldn't tell. I have been talking for almost 23 minutes, and I said I wasn't going to edit this. So, we're excited. I will share with you as much. I see you, big head. How long you been down there? I knew you went on the front porch. The camera told me. I said I wasn't going to edit this video, so don't be bopping around. But anyways, we're very excited. I will share with you guys, stop looking at me, quit judging me, as much as they're comfortable with me sharing. Obviously, it's not my baby, so Lily Claire, it's not up to me what gets put on the internet. So whatever they allow me to share, I will, especially once baby is here. But we're excited. Are you excited?
Yes, I know.
They couldn't hear you. Anyways, I said I wasn't going to edit, or I was going to pick up the camera and show Lily. But that's going to be it for this video. I just wanted to make sure that this had its own little special place here. See, it's so awkward. I don't like recording with people watching me.
I'm not looking at it.
I wanted to make sure it had its own little special place here. And so that's going to be it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. And as always, remember to show grace, be content, and live blessed. Bye, guys. So are you excited?
Yes.
1 to 10.
89.